Hey, do you remember in our last video where we talked about transferring land from one person to another, or from a deceased person to the beneficiary? Solomon said this.
And then they'll be able to identify the location of the property, assuming that your LR number is accurate.
Are you saying there's a chance it couldn't be?
Absolutely, which is why you need a professional attorney to begin with.
That's what we're going to be talking about today. This is MoneyWise with Rina Hicks, where we create, grow, and preserve wealth. So Solomon, in your last conversation, you mentioned that you can have a land reference number or LR number that is either inaccurate or false due to fraud or due to just human error.
That's right.
So if I find that my LR number, when I go to my lawyer and they say there's no such thing that exists, and I don't have any other document to prove that I am the rightful owner of this piece of land, what am I to do?
Well, like I mentioned before, and you'll probably hear me say this several times, is you need a reliable, licensed attorney or lawyer to help you through this process.
Okay.
And like I mentioned, it could be a wrong land registry number, either because of simple clerical error, where they type the title deeds. That happens. Anytime you have human beings doing something, errors do occur. And if that's the case, that's an easy one to correct. The lawyer and the licensed surveyor should be able to assist with that. If it's a fraudulent number, because something untoward happened before, the lawyer will help you with that.
Okay.
Yes.
And they have their way of dealing with these
There are legal processes for dealing with this. It can be long and complicated, which is why you absolutely must have a licensed lawyer, attorney of the High Court, who specializes in conveyancing, which is land transactions or property transactions.
Conveyancing specifically is
absolutely
land transactions.
Lawyers, much like doctors, have specialties. You have surgeons, you have pediatricians, and so on. It's exactly the same with lawyers. You need to identify one who specializes in property.
Okay. Thanks for that. The other question that I have is, when I have land and I have title deeds to that land, and I have them somewhere tucked away, is it safe for me to just continue to assume everything is okay, have them tucked away? I bought land somewhere and it's okay, and I have the titles anyway, and I can sit pretty until the day that I need to sell to, buy something else or invest my money in something else. Is it safe to just keep the title deeds away and hope that everything is going to be okay?
Well, the first thing I'll say is, if you're going to keep your title deeds away somewhere, you need to have it in a safe and secure environment. And that means it has to be fireproof as well. So I recommend that you have a safety deposit box with a bank where you keep all those documents.
What about my lawyer? What about my lawyer? Can my lawyer keep my documents for me?
They can, but many lawyers do not have fireproof facilities.
Okay.
And in the event of a fire, which has happened to us before, your title deeds get destroyed in the fire, and then what? Right? So you need to interrogate and ask questions. Do you have a fire retardant or fireproof repository for keeping these documents? That's the first thing, right? And secondly, while you have your documents safely stored away, we highly recommend that you do regular searches, which your lawyer can do for you, or you could do it on your own, should you have the time to do so, every single year.
Every year?
Every single year. It only costs 500 shillings to do a search.
Oh, okay.
It's not costly. It does take time in some of the registries, but we highly recommend that you do so every single year, just to make sure that nothing's been tampered with at the registry.
Wow, thanks so much, Solomon. So in a nutshell, please make sure that you do your searches. Even if you've bought land, it's been 10 years ago that you bought the land, don't assume that it's still your property. You need to keep going. And we're talking about Africa here. I'm talking to Africans here. Please keep checking, do searches to ensure that the land that is under your title is actually still the same land, and keep doing searches. And Solomon has told us it's only 500 shillings, so it's something that is doable. Secondly, if you do have that land reference number, please share it with your lawyer, share it with a you said it was a
conveyancing lawyer.
A conveyancing lawyer. and be able, and it's all is not lost. You'll be able to find the land using a surveyor as well. So I wish you all the best. Please write to us. Let us know if you have any questions that you want answered where land is concerned, and I'll make sure that we get the answers from Solomon and any other experts that we may need. This is MoneyWise with Rina Hicks, where we create, grow, and preserve wealth.
Okay.